What's Really Good? It's your boy, Harry Ali from the What's Really Good podcast. And we got Coach Hue that, like always, one of the board of directors in the building. Once again, what's going on?
Not much. What's happening, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, listen, I can't complain, man. My commander's doing amazing in the draft, first time last 20 years, we're looking good. We're looking good. I hopefully Jaden doesn't pull a RG3 and Sam Harden pulls a Kirk Cousins, we
Well,
still got the juju going on. So hopefully that juju is, stays in the box and is just a new era, you know what I'm saying?
oh yeah. Well, Jaden's my guy.
Oh
Him and
yeah.
his mom, his family. Oh yeah. No, I know Jaden, know his mom, and they're great people. I think he's going to have a great career there. He's going to be a great player, and looking forward to see how they use him.
100%. And, obviously we got to talk about, who was drafted first overall and which team he went to. And the team he went to is the Chicago Bears. So
Yep.
the best thing to do is to bring a man who got a bag from the Chicago Bears. But not only that, he began his career and you was on the sidelines with them, with the Raiders. So
Oh wow.
here we go. Special guest on the What's Really Good podcast is Mr. One and Only Lamarr Houston in the house.
Man, you be finding my dudes, man.
How you doing,
I love
Coach?
that dude right there. What a player he was.
Hey,
How you doing,
man.
Coach?
Good, buddy. You doing good?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just on my grind.
Hey, it's awesome to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too.
Lamarr Houston, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, doing well. Those are my favorite years that I'm playing in Oakland. My first 2 years playing with Coach Jackson and the squad.
Wow.
So those were actually our best years there.
That man was a
100%.
player.
Oh yeah, I mean Lamarr was out there, man. He was doing his thing, man, and plus 30 plus sacks. I mean, in this era, kind of in this time of age, that's hard to come by now.
Oh,
People get at least 1 or 2 or 3, and that's about average. And then they go on Instagram and they want to stunt like there's some Hall of Famers. They're forgetting about all these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You wasn't a legit pass rusher if you didn't get 10 sacks. That used to be the rule in the league. Like, to be legit, you had to get 10. So
got to get 10.
The Cats is getting 2 and 3 sacks. I don't know about that. I mean, I guess it's a different game nowadays, but
hey,
man.
I'm telling you, some people out there with 3-4 sacks, they be trying to get 3 and 4 phones. Like, hey, man, like they worth something,
Yeah,
they got to give different numbers to everyone.
Getting bags for not having that many sacks, and I'm like, wow. Too
early. hey, I mean, I know you got your business going on. How's that going?
It's going great. I got my first baseball team going. Been in conversations with several football teams, universities, just really starting to grow. Got a few hotels that are coming out. So early traction is going well. We do the AI vending machines that verify age in real time so you can buy alcohol, canned beers and things like that at stadiums and high foot traffic events and venues.
And it's called Box Tech, isn't it?
Yep, Box Tech.
Right. Yeah, you were telling me about that. Yes. Well, hey, man, I hope all the best for that, for your business. Thank you. Obviously the draft was, a couple weeks back. And, you were drafted second round. That's pretty good. And that's amazing, and going to the Raiders. How was the feeling, you getting drafted and finally getting your dream come true?
I mean, it was amazing. I was blessed. I can't complain. A lot of people might not know this, but I was projected to be like a 5th round draft pick. Busted my ass during the draft, came out, had some great numbers, and got picked up early, and just, was able to come into a program and a group that were looking for young guys to ignite the fire. And, Coach Hue was a catalyst to that. He allowed us to, grow and develop into our own personalities and kind of, take our presence on the team, even as young guys. So it was great, and it was, I got to see 2 sides of football. My first 4 years in Oakland was, it was great. It was about football, and then I went to the Bears, and it was just more like everywhere else. It's just a corporate place that you're coming to work and you're leaving. So, the last half, it was great. I got paid, but didn't have that football family feeling, that you get in your locker room and in your staff. So it's a place.
You came in the first year, I believe Coach Hugh. I think Al Davis passed away too during that
Mhm.
year, and you were there. And, it was a different vibe definitely at that time, and obviously we have to speak about some of the things that went on with the Raiders at that time. How do you think overall as a team, like you were saying, that family feel? How hard is that to come by during that time in the NFL?
I think a lot of people don't remember this, and you got to give Coach Jackson a lot of credit for this. Is we actually ended up winning out the rest of December that year,
Right,
and we
right.
were a game short of going to the playoffs, but we beat everybody in December. It was awesome, and then we won our last like 4 or 5 games, and we fell short of the playoffs, but. We had a lot of older veterans on the team, a lot of wiser guys, Tommy Kellys, the Seymours, the John Hendersons. We just had more veterans. It was a different kind of NFL back then. That's when a lot of guys were like 8, 9 years in the league, and then you would come underneath them and play for a couple of years. So we had a good veteran group. We had a good mix of young guys, and so we all gelled really well. And it was more like a brotherhood. We always hung out together in the off seasons, not just at the facility, but like outside of the facility. We were always at each other's apartments. We were always eating with each other. We were always just like hanging out and like being, teammates. Um, a little bit different vibe in most NFL teams is where it's like you go to work and you just go home. Like you don't really hang out with the guys there. You don't really hang out with their families. You're not really trying to hang out with the coaches. You just come into work and you're just going home. So it's a completely different vibe.
When you went to the Bears, hey, my man, you got the bag. And, like you were saying, you got the bag, but it wasn't that family feel,
Yeah.
What, I mean, I can't, we're going to talk about now soon with the Bears, but at that time, what was going on with the Bears? Like, what was not right there?
I mean, I don't know. They got rid of the GM. It's
Mhm.
it's the same situation anywhere. You go somewhere and the dominoes start falling, and you're getting rid of GMs and head coaches. It trickle down effects through your whole team. So we came in there. Phil Emery was there. He was the one who paid everybody. Then all of a sudden he got fired. So everybody who got paid wasn't worth the shit. So new GM comes in. They're bringing in new people. They're trying to get rid of old people. And it was just like the great cleansing there the whole time I was there, because it went from Phil Emery to Mark Trestman to John Fox. It just kept going, and they never really built a foundation around anybody like they did with Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith had a lot of success there because he was there for 10 plus years. After that, they were just flipping guys like hamburgers through there. They never really built around anybody.
No, 100%. I mean, not only that, being in a place that is just, like you're saying, dominoes falling down, all that, bad juju comes with that. And,
Yeah.
me being a Commander fan, I know all about bad juju and, bad feels and all that type of crap, Like, I'm not going to get into that because it's going to be a long episode. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I mean, we got to, we have to talk about when you sack, Jimmy in that game against the Pats, and you did that touchdown celebration, and you got that torn ACL, man. I mean, that was tough to see. Uh, Take us through like what just happened.
Okay, so that was just, I actually got injured prior to that, and I didn't know. We were playing San Francisco. I tried to hump Jonathan Martin, and I missed, and Jonathan Martin ran down the middle of my body. So I tweaked my knee then. I kept playing for a few more weeks. I got to the Packers game the week before I went to New England, and I just was like, I'm not feeling right. Like, I'm not getting off the ball. Like, I feel like I'm sluggish, not getting off the ball. I got paid. Everybody knew I got paid, so everybody's expecting me to, just beast out. Problem was I was playing D tackle, taking on double teams every time we got a chance to pass, and everybody's getting the one-on-one. So I had 0 sacks. I had no sacks. But of course, the fans, they don't know any difference. They're just like, oh, you're having a trash year. You're having a trash year. So I get my first sack of the season 8 weeks in against Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'm just so excited. And I just go celebrate. I didn't even realize my knee was already partially injured. I jumped, did a non-contact injury, and I get hurt. Crazy thing is, I go through recovery, come back, lead the Bears in sacks, lead them to a history year of sacks. I believe that was the most sacks the Bears D-line had in like 10, 15 years before that. So it was awesome. Just to be able to come back from an injury like that and still have success and be able to pass rush and get 8 sacks, it was awesome.
Obviously, injuries are horrible, and
Yeah.
to the young cats out there, the people coming into the league, what is the best way to come back from a horrible injury? Like how to keep your mindset straight.
It's all about keeping your mind in the game. You have to constantly, in order to, and there's studies out there where the nervous system literally doesn't reconnect to the brain without you having your brain reenact running and thinking it's running, because then the body starts thinking it's running and it's moving, and then that connection actually reconnects the tissue in the nervous system to your brain in order to start functioning. So really, anytime you get an injury, it's your mentality and your discipline is what's going to determine how well you recover from that injury. Because you can recover, but if you let yourself get depressed or you start falling into the dumps and start thinking about, man, I'm here, I'm not playing, I'm not with my group, I'm not this, it can affect your recovery and the way you perform after that recovery. So my suggestion would be try and keep a strong mentality, stay focused, listen to your team, whoever that your doctors are, your coaches are, your strength coaches, and really stay focused on bouncing back to where you were at.
I'm telling you, like you did, like you were saying, you got the injury, you came back, you had multiple injuries, and you come back and fight and keep that mentality upright. Hey guys, it can happen. The Bears now in this new era, I mean, shoot, first pick overall, huh, Coach Hugh?
Oh yeah, no,
I
first pick
mean,
overall.
they select, Caleb Williams, man. First overall pick. What is your guys' thoughts about that?
Well, I think it's important to have a quarterback. I think Lamar, I tell you, it's hard to win the National Football League if your quarterback's not very good.
You're not.
But saying that, they had Justin Fields, who I had a lot of respect for. I thought was a good player. And sometimes you just don't know why those things work or why they don't work. But at the same time, they've made the decision to draft Caleb Williams. Look like they're supporting him wholeheartedly because the next pick they made and the other free agents that they brought into the team. So I think it's an exciting time, but again, he's going to have to produce. They're going to have to show that it was worth it because they had a first round quarterback recently a couple of times, Trubisky, Fields. So you got to get it right this time. I just think it's so important for the organization.
Yeah, I believe, I was getting a little deja vu, because they picked Mitch Trubisky first round when I was there in 14. And, they've been trying to fill that quarterback void for a while. I mean, they went from Rex Grossman, who was subpar, to Jay Cutler, who had a lot of talent. And then after that, it kind of just, fell into no man's land as far as the leadership of your team. And like Hugh says, you can't win without a quarterback. So if they got a chance to get a good quarterback, and that's the fun part of the draft. You don't know how people are going to pan out. You just can't predict it. It's like the stock market. Motherfucker might be really good and then get out there in the NFL and just bomb. So, you can't predict it. But if you have a chance to take a shot at a quarterback, you have to take a shot at the quarterback because it's such a rare position and it's hard to feel like Hugh knows. We had a bunch of quarterbacks in Oakland. I mean, we were better off when we had Carson. He was probably the best quarterback we had, but we also played with Jason Campbell, who was fair quarterback. And we had Bruce Gakowski, who could fight for a good game or two. And then we also had, what's my guy's name? I don't want to forget him.
Bowler?
Huh?
Yeah, Kyle Bowler.
Kyle Bowler. But there's another kid. I think he came in at the McGlowan.
McGlowan.
So,
That's right.
I've been around a lot of quarterbacks, and if that's one position you can find that one talent, and you guys an opportunity to take it, you have to take it because it's just you never know. Tom Brady came. That was 20 years ago. How you gonna find another Tom Brady? It's just unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
So they took the right choice.
And Lamar, like you were saying, man, like Bears went through all these quarterbacks, and you were talking, you're speaking of Jason Campbell. That's my dude right there, Jason Campbell. But Jason Campbell, he always got the expired food all the damn time. Even when he was with my Commanders, man, that boy was getting squashed left to right. The O line was
I
in
think he
right.
got a little bit of PTSD in that pocket because he was getting popped a couple times.
Oh,
I feel bad for my guy. I mean, some people was really teeing him up.
I mean, he was getting popped so much, man. His helmet was looking like a snapback every time he was walking down.
Wow.
Hey, look, the Commanders didn't do no help because Washington always had like a ragtag, grab a lunch guys playing offensive lineman too. So it wasn't all on him.
Lamar, I gotta agree with you on that, but 100%. But now, listen, Caleb coming in. Do you guys think, okay, that he will be the best rookie quarterback in this year?
He's got a shot. They all got a shot to be the best. He's got a shot. His season's going to start here in 3-4 months. They're going to get him settled in. He's got time to learn his playbook, learn his teammates. He's got just as good a shot as anybody else. I think they got a younger core around him as far as like wide receivers and running backs and stuff like that. But I think he can fare well if he builds that chemistry with his team.
Like Coach Hugh, like if you put Jaden, Caleb, and May by the end of the season, who you think might have the best numbers, you think?
Well, I think, like Lamar said, I think that's hard to predict because you just don't know. I mean, a lot goes into this. That people just think it's the quarterback, it's the coordinator, it's the offensive line, it's the receivers, it's the running back, it's who you're playing against, it's matchups, it's all these things that people don't think about.
How smart is your center?
Yeah, you just said it. I mean, some people think it's because the guy's the first pick of the draft, he's going to have the most yards. Well, just go look this past year at Bryce Young, who's at the Panthers. That's not the case. A lot of people think he can't play, and we all know that's not true. But at the same time, you got to get the luck of the draw, and you just don't know where that is yet because you don't know that offensive line, just how talented are they? He just said it. And then people don't even, because Lamar understands it, but you can dive into that. You got to have a veteran center. Yeah. You're playing with a young center. He don't understand all the different looks in the National Football League, which may lead to the quarterback not playing well, and it's not the quarterback. The guy is not directing the protection the right way, So it's so many things that go into this. He's right-handed. Is the right guard good enough to keep that 3 technique off that pressure? It just a lot goes into thinking about who's going to play well and all the other things that go into the equation that people just don't think about, and we do because we're coach and he's a player and he understands what that's all about.
I feel like, Bears are kind of heading into the right direction, obviously, for the 9th overall pick. They picked up Romeo Dunze, and, that boy is a dog too. So, with that speaking, we have to talk about the free agency pickups the Bears picked up too. They signed Keenan Allen, 4-year contract up to $80 million. Yeah. And running back DeAndre Swift, 3-year contract for $24.5 million. So what do you guys think about those additions and how that, it looks like a fantasy team right now, it looks hot as hell, so how do you think how they all will, meld together?
Well, they seem to be picking the right players and putting them in the right positions. I mean, they got a great player with Keenan Allen. So, if he can come in there and be as impactful as he's been in his career, then, it'll help Caleb Williams get room to grow, having someone to lean on and stuff like that. So I think they did the right thing because they've been missing a few of those pieces the last couple of years with the running back situation. They had Jordan Howard for a little while who did really well when I was there, but after that they kind of sputtered out, and it's been up and down. So I think they pick the right guys to come in and step up.
Well, the biggest thing, and I think Lamar said it earlier, we're now supporting the quarterback. I mean, you took this guy first overall, so you got to do everything you can to support him. So they went and got quality receiver in free agency, a quality running back in free agency. You go and draft a receiver in the first round. So you're saying to everybody, we're going to support our quarterback. So if I'm playing quarterback there, I'm feeling good about that.
Yeah.
Because you're giving me weapons. You're giving me an opportunity to have success.
We've all seen they drafted a tackle too, right?
Yeah. We've seen some quarterbacks get drafted and they don't support him that way. So kudos to the Bears for saying, hey, look at here, we got to make this young man successful. He's the first overall pick. We're going to do everything we can to support him, and that's what they're doing.
I mean, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, right? Romeo, and Caleb. I mean, that right there looks dangerous on paper, but once again, some of these teams, like Bears and the Commanders and all that, we had this thing where we always look good on paper, but somehow it just doesn't translate on the field. So, we have to talk about one thing about the Bears. That what do you guys think that they're lacking in still heading into the season?
I haven't heard much talk about defense.
Now, Lamar, I gotta ask you, man. Does defense win championships?
It for sure does. But your quarterback's one of the most important pieces for the game. I mean, you got a good quarterback, you damn near can do a lot of stuff because it saves you time for your defense off the field. Plays in a lot of different avenues. But if you don't have a solid defense, no matter how good your quarterback is, then it just ain't gonna never work because you guys are gonna be in a constant shootout. So, they better have some type of prep over there. As far as like, I figure they have a fairly young group on D line that's pretty good, and they have some decent DBs. I know they let Amos go a couple years ago to Green Bay, but I think they've been reloading back there in the back end. But they should have a little focus on defense because if not, Caleb Williams can come in and play great, but if he's playing games where he's 35 and 28 every weekend, it's not gonna make a difference.
No doubt about it. But your man that came from the Commanders is playing his butt off over there on defense.
So I was about to get
I knew
there.
you were going to go there. That's why I beat you to it.
Listen,
he's a heck of a player, and that's a real good building block to start with, just like Lamar was. You got to go rush the quarterback. If you can't play quarterback, and if you can't rush the quarterback, and if you can't cover receivers, and if you can't stop the run, you're not going to win. It's just that simple. So that's why it's such a premium on having those particular players at those positions. That's why you pay them. So there's no question. Defensively, they needed some more pieces as well to go with the rusher. But at the same time, boy, you got to score points in this league and you got to stop people. So it's going to be interesting to see, can the defense get back to the level? Because I think they started to play better towards the end of the year. Can they hit that full stride this year and play consistently for 17 games?
Yeah.
You were talking about defense is one of the things they're lacking. My boy Montez Sweat, when we unfortunately gave him away last year, and the Pro Bowl list came out and I saw just Montez Sweat for the Bears. I'm like, hold up. They got nobody back there. And the Bears, man, shoot. They in trouble in defense. And, when Lamar, when you said the defense, you ain't heard nothing about defense, me either. Until my boy Montez showed up on the damn defense. So yeah, I mean defense definitely is a big key because once again, if the defense is lacking, you keep putting pressure on that rookie QB, man.
It just becomes a shootout. Just doesn't matter. Similar situation we had with Jay Cutler. When he played great, our defense was lacking. It would become a shootout, and it wouldn't make sense if he threw 3 touchdowns to Brandon Marshall and 2 to Alshon Jeffrey. We let somebody score another 5 touchdowns. We're losing 45-50, 35-28, 28-21. Like it's, you got to have a defense that's focused, and that's going to be the D coordinator's job. I mean, he's going to be the one that has to prepare those guys. And with the defense, it always starts from the head and goes down to the tail. So, if you've got a D coordinator who's going to be risky, there's got a lot of young guys in there, you might see a lot of big plays dropped on them. But if you have someone who's going to be conservative and then take their shots here and there, you might have a moderate, fair defense that'll play pretty well throughout the year. So it's all how they're going to make their choices.
Coach, who's the DC over there right now?
I'm not sure who the DC is this year because remember the one guy, they let him go and then he promoted somebody. And I know they make changes.
I'm going to make some prayers, man, Coach, because if you don't know who the DC over there is, man, they in trouble.
I do not. I do not.
they in trouble. But hey, listen, we know who the OC is, and he just got hired. 2-time Super Bowl winner. Shane Waldron. Having weapons like he has for his first year there for the Bears. How do you think he will do? Obviously the whole offense overall.
We'll see. I mean, it's hard to predict.
Mm.
He's had success, but at the same time, he has a new quarterback. You got to play to this kid's strength, and his strength is making uncommon plays outside the pocket. Well, you can't do that in the National Football League too much. You're going to get hit. So that they're going to have to tone, reel him in a little bit. He's going to have to throw, on rhythm a lot, which we've seen him do. But when he's playing at his best is when he's making these uncommon plays outside the pocket. But in National Football League, you're going to get hit. It's just that simple.
Yeah, it's not as easy to scramble.
Mm-mm.
That's a lot of those, the Colin Kaepernicks and guys like that come in the league who can't. It's all about really being able to complete passes from within the pocket. The better you are at that, the more success you're going to have. And it's going to be the coordinator's jobs to put him in a place of success. Obviously, he's rolling that pocket out for him, or they're doing boots or whatever they're going to do, but it's going to be something that has to support his play style.
And obviously this was a hard thing to pinpoint. But with what you see, what do you think the record could possibly be? Do you think it will be at least better than last year's?
I think they got a fair shot at that. At least break 500, maybe fall a little short. I mean, they're still a fairly young team, so it's when you think about having a whole complete season, it takes a few veterans on your team and a few guys who've done it a few times to actually have that focus as a group. So we'll see.
And Lamar, I got to ask you, when you were playing with the Bears at that time, obviously playing in the stadium, and that environment, always cold, and coach, you've been up there a lot of
Mhm.
times. How is that a benefit for you guys?
Oh, nobody wants to play there after October.
Mm.
It's
Too
always
cold.
30 degrees and below. It's a big benefit. Guys don't want to play, and people come out there and try and roll their hat and get back on the bus as fast as they can because it's so cold. And I think that's one of the things they're going to be kind of taken away when they build a new facility there. Is like them cold weather games kind of take a little impact on teams when they come out there, especially if you come out there from Oakland or Miami or Vegas or something where it's not really cold. Oh man.
No, yeah, I saw Tyreek Hill when he went against Snead in that game, and he was in KC, and he was locking them down, and you could see that guy, Miami guy, kind of getting stressed out there, not
We
for
had a few.
real.
We had a few 9-degree games in Kansas City. My first year, it was freezing there. Ground was
Okay.
like concrete.
That's when
Nobody
players
wanted
make business decisions.
exactly.
And look, it ain't going well, but it's not going to go well. Let's get home.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we can all agree that the Bears, this is for the Bears fans out there. We got to give them some type of hope. They've been through a lot of rough years. Like I did with the Commanders. So do you guys could finally say that they're on the right path from what you see on paper, and we hope for the best for Caleb and the new start for offense and everything else.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they are. I mean, they have to be. I mean, the
That's right.
GM has to be, the head coach has to be. Let's just be very transparent about that, how this thing works.
Yeah.
Now you keep picking quarterbacks in the first round, you got to go make good on it. And so there was talk that the coach might not be there after this year. There was talk the GM might not be there. They're both are there. And I'd love to see them do great, but I think what is that going to look like to the fans? Is that a 9-8 season? Is it being on the win side? And how much is Caleb going to play? Is he going to definitely be the starter? I think all those things are going to go into it. You have to walk through all those things as an organization, as a football team, because you don't want to put him out there if your offense is not ready for him. But what I see them doing, I say they're preparing for him because they went and got him some weapons and some help. But only that once you get to training camp and understand the schedule and who you're playing and where you're playing.
That's the first time I've actually seen them go and get support. When they had Mitch Trubisky, we kind of had a little bit of support on the team, but they didn't go get more guys to put around him. At least it's time they're building to get more guys to put around him. And this is the GM's second year or third year? I know he just got hired.
I think it's his third.
It's third year? Okay. So, yeah, he's really got to come with something this year because he's been there quite a while. And they've had a lot of turnover at that spot these last couple of years. So I think that him and the head coach being back is a good sign. that they're trying to let somebody build something and to continue to support the pieces that they're bringing in. So I think they got a good chance of, like I said, breaking 500 or having like a 9-8 season, like you said.
There you go, guys. Bear fans, hopefully, we all hope for the best for you guys, and, you guys got to be, keep you guys hope up. You guys got an amazing team this year, and let's hope for the best. Lamar, I appreciate you coming on the What's Really Good podcast,
No problem.
and chopping up with me and Coach you, and, hope the best for you and your business and your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good to see you, Coach.
You too, buddy.
All right, guys. That was it with the What's Really Good podcast. More podcasts to come with me and Coach Hue in the future with a lot of players that is on the list. So, the list keeps on coming. Ain't that right, Coach Hue?
No, it's you. You have knocked my socks off that way.
I'm telling you. Everyone out there, go ahead, subscribe to the What's Really Good podcast. Take care, everyone.